What's going on, my beautiful people? This is Certified Life and Relationship Coach, Coach Court. In today's video, we're going to be talking about why we love dismissive avoidance. Thank you for sticking around. If this is your first time viewing me, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel by clicking that subscribe button and ringing that bell so you're notified for all the newest coaching content. But before I get into the content, if you want my help personally, the quickest way to get in contact with me is to go to my website at www.fruitfulseeds.com and click the coaching tab and pick an option that's best for you. Thank you, guys. In today's video, I want to talk to you guys about why we love dismissive avoidance. And I know it's frustrating to so many people around you, your friends, your family. They're wondering, why can't you just give up on this person? Why are you taking these different types of behaviors, or you're putting up with it? It's because we know the history. Now, I have a list here, and I want to go down this list with you guys today, all right? Because I feel like it's so important for us to have these discussions. But before I get into any of that, I want you guys to understand why I created this channel. When I first started it, I didn't think that it was going to, A, take off like this. B, I didn't know so many people was resonating with my experience. So it was beautiful to see just how much the community not only embraced me, but it grew. My purpose for actually starting it was to simply educate you guys on the things that I was currently learning too. I graduated with a sociology degree, and I studied a lot of different psychology courses and went to a couple different extra trainings, and it didn't really sit with me just how much the things that I was learning was something that I was experiencing myself. So I was kind of like naive. I think a lot of people do that when you are going through college. There's certain courses and certain classes and lessons that you just blank. You don't even remember anymore. I probably forgot like 90% of the stuff that I learned in college, but it's only because I didn't have that burning passion and that desire for the topics that I was going through. So I went ahead and wrote a quote. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, my Instagram handle is I am Coach Court. I post quotes every single day to help support people in the community. So it's kind of like a different little way that I serve people. The quote goes, "There are certain people who can draw out that little boy or little girl in you. You can be your most vulnerable, authentic self. Those are the people that will either push you away because it's uncomfortable, or you'll become terrified to lose. Or if you're in between, you can go from pushing away and becoming terrified of losing." So we all know what attachment style that is. But back to the topic. So yeah, I decided to start this channel to write these quotes as a way to heal myself. But as I started to do it, I started to see that I was healing a lot of other people. It was like a ripple effect. And I did a lot of reading during that time. And it's interesting just how much we already know this information, but it takes from you to hear it from someone else for you to actually feel like, all right, this is valid. My experience is valid. I'm not alone. And this is what everyone wants in life. People search, the different avenues and the different resources to just know and have that peace of mind that they're not alone. So the reasons that we love these guys is because we know their history. Now, I did a video yesterday that talks about a live session that talks about the inner child and how the inner child, if you haven't done that work, if you haven't healed that inner child, if you were someone who had, you have a narrative about your experience that is maybe limiting in its beliefs, or if it was a toxic narrative that you have, or if you're repressing it, either way, doing that inner child work, healing that little boy or little girl inside you in order to have the most fulfilling relationships in the future, where you're not scared and you're not pushing people away and you're not clingy and fear and abandonment and fear being vulnerable, all those good things. It's important to do that work. So I was talking to a client about this, and I was asking him, I said, unless this person does the work, you're probably not going to get them back. And if you do, I don't understand why you're such a glutton for punishment. And he said, "Court, have you ever heard of the analogy of the snake and the farmer?" And I said, "No, I never heard it." He said, "Well, a farmer came across a snake on his land that was burning to death. So he grabbed the snake and the snake bit him. He dropped the snake, of course. So he went and got a metal rod, came back and continued to try to save the snake. And someone was watching the interaction and said, 'Look, why are you still trying to save this snake?' And he said, 'Well, that's the nature of a snake. It bites people. I'm not going to change my nature because the snake bit me.'" And this is exactly what people talk about when they just can't understand why you're still trying to proceed. And I said, well, you know what? If that snake doesn't get therapy, it's probably going to continue to bite people. So I'd be cautious moving forward. And that was the point of the channel. All right. The whole point of the channel was for me to educate you guys on your experience and let you guys know that, hey, you're not alone. There are certain types of people who had certain upbringing, certain types of trauma. Now, always a disclaimer, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a counselor. This channel isn't meant to replace. Also, if you guys are part of my membership program, please don't forget to reach out to me for your monthly coaching sessions. And for those who aren't aware of the program, you can join up right here on YouTube, or you can join up on my Patreon account, where you get 20 minutes coaching from me every single month. Either of those. Honestly, I feel you need to have this whole wraparound effect. Now, this is what I learned when I was mentoring kids that was at risk. The wraparound effect. You have to get everyone involved. The friends, the family, the best friend, the godmother, the pastor at the church, or the mentor, everyone. You have to get everyone involved. So I feel if you're trying to heal yourself, therapy, counseling, coaching, meditation, working out, all of that, you need a whole wraparound effect if you're going to make the most impactful improvements in life. So the DA's history. Like, the DA's history is something that we know about. And once we are able to finally get them to let that wall down and we can see who they really are, we see that little child in them. We see that scared little boy or little girl that has never had someone sit in their experience with them and honestly care about what they feel. So once we see that, that's when they have us. We're hooked. And we see that this person can be vulnerable. And this person can share their experiences with someone that is really close to them. But, I like to say that, that's when you fly too close to the sun, you get your wings clipped. When you get that close to them, that's when it's the most scary. That's when they feel like, wow, this person is becoming more and more valuable and more of a priority in my life, which make me really, really terrified to get hurt by them. I was also on a call with another client, and I was asking him, because we kind of had similar upbringings. And I said, you have to really ask yourself, self-reflect. Reflect on your history. What did you experience in childhood? What was the norm for you? Because I can tell you my own personal experience, my dad being gone, my dad going to the military, I can remember, I can flash back. I asked my mom, I was about 25, 26 years old, maybe even 30. I was asking my mom, I said, I kind of remember when my dad left. And I painted the picture to her, like, very vividly. I was standing at the airport. I gave him a hug, saw him get on the airplane, saw the plane backing out the terminal, and I was just there bawling. And I had this little pillow pad with me. I don't know if you guys are familiar. I'm dating myself, but I had this little pillow pad with me, this little blue pillow pad with a little red hat. And the thing was like mangy as heck. And I think that's something that, people that have attachment traumas have also. Like, you may have like this blanket or this little stuffed animal or something that you hold on to for a really long time. I think I might have had that thing till I was like 8 or 9. Then my grandmother finally threw it away. But anyway, I digress. So I remember it backing out the terminal, and I asked her, I said, Mom, is that the way that it went down? She said, son, I don't know how you remember that because you were 3, but yeah, that's exactly how it happened. And she can remember consoling me, trying to get me to, come away from the window because I was, pretty much in shambles. But it's so interesting how the subconscious mind works and how you can repress those things. So when a person is a love avoidant and they're able to tell you what their upbringing was, it's almost like therapy, but you don't want to be your significant other or spouse therapist. You can't counsel them and give them therapy and love them at the same time. You have to wear those hats. And this is why I say it's important, if you're trying to get someone that's a love avoidant, a fearful avoidant, or a dismissive, if you're trying to get them back, you have to make sure that they're doing the work, because otherwise it's not going to work. You can't give someone extra love in order to heal them. It just doesn't work. It's not possible. It may work for a little while. You may get short-term success, but it's not sustainable. It won't last. So if you found this video of any value, go ahead and click this link right here where I talk about the inner child and when it wants to come out and play. And if you guys want to follow me on my other social media accounts, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, I am Coach Court. And always remember, when you go be love, you'll never have to find it. Namaste.